Alright, so this video is a very topical one. I'm probably posting this near the end of December before the new year as an homage to whatever this year has been, whatever 2020 has been. I figured to do a full 2020 team. And so I just want to mention that we all know what the biggest event here in 2020 was, and I don't think it's fitting to really make a joke of that by putting something like my mascot here on the team or something like a wheezing, anything like that. I don't think that's really, appropriate. And so what we simply have are some of the broader ideas or the very specific events such as the Murder Hornets. And so I'm going to switch over to the Pokepaste here. This Absol disaster, I think we can all agree, 2020 has just been a mess. And so Absol, the Pokemon foreboding disaster, a full critical hit type of set. You've got Scope Lens, Super Luck, and then a lot of moves that have high critical hit chances. Sucker Punch for that priority, of course. And then here we have our Mega Beedrill, the Murder Hornet. I don't know the update on that whole situation in the US at least, but yeah, Murder Hornets, I thought that was something a bit lighter that's happened in 2020 that I could add into the team. We've got the Yamask. This is the only kind of reference to the larger event that's happening that I thought was just fitting. It's a positive message, not the ghost type. I don't want to, make it seem like that's part of the whole idea here. Simply the idea of wearing a mask, how that's just a good message to spread. And I thought this Pokemon was just fitting for it. Then we've got Zoom to kind of represent the whole virtual shift that's been happening over this whole year. And so this is a standard Porygon Z with adaptability, conversion into our ghost type, which then we'll get that double stab on Shadow Ball. This is the Dying Coral. I think this is what the Pokemon Company was kind of going for with the design of this Pokemon, just spreading awareness about global warming, the effects of it. And so we have an offensive Cursola set. We could do Scald because I feel like that would be more fitting to the theme. But I like Strength Sap here because Urshifu, Sucker Punch. Strength Sap will just completely counter that. Weak Armor, of course, to get that speed, and then Calm Mind hopefully sweep with this like 30 base speed Pokemon. It's for the content. And now for the final member of the team, our Dewblade. I'm gonna switch back to where you can see the shiny form because I think it, fits the name a little better now. The reason this is on the 2020 team is simply because of the number 2020, typically associated with 2020 vision or perfect vision, and that's why we have this no guard ability on our Dewblade here. And so then it's just the standard set with Swords Dance, Shadow Sneak, Gyro Ball, and Sacred Sword. And now with that whole team recap out of the way, let's hop into some battles here. Alright, and so up against the Rain team, I'm not even going to think, I'm just going to lead off with our Porygon Z because we can set up, honestly, a free Z conversion just off the rip if Pelipper leads. Yeah, we do see the Pelipper, so now we have our Zoom out. I could go for the conversion here, as I was just saying, and I really do like that because the only real threat that outspeeds me would be that Mega Swampert in the Rain. But at +1 defense, I think we're all set. Okay, off goes our conversion. We go into that ghost type as you just get a U-turn, and that is a free Z conversion off of turn 1. Exactly, there's that Swampert. I highly doubt that you're going to be able to live this adaptability, stab, +1, 71%. 78% back. Okay, really unfortunate. Yeah, I was really hoping that was not going to do as much as it did, so we are simply going to switch out. We'll get rid of the Swift Swim temporarily. Yeah, I doubt that you can kill since Earthquake is more powerful, but then Waterfall gets that rain boost. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, exactly. There's no reason for you to switch out, and that essentially neutralizes Swampert for the rest of the game. So that's something that's really good to see. Yamask, it doesn't have a method of healing, so I'm simply going to end off with a Toxic Spikes, doesn't matter. Swampert, really not much you can do at this point. Now, I would go into Beedrill and try to get that Fell Stinger boost. I imagine you'd stay in since Swampert really is kind of useless to you now. Although an Earthquake, even with a burn, an Earthquake is still going to do too much. It's still gonna do too much. So I'm just gonna switch into you and go for a Calm Mind. There's the Waterfall dealing, wow. And the flinch. Yeah, that did 92%. I forget how weak this thing is defensively. We did take away the Swift Swim though. And that's something very important to remember. We did take away that Swift Swim. And oh god, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Showdown made that change where it shows that burns only make your moves like half as powerful, but the attack stat stays. So maybe go for Strength Sap here, because, I mean, what happens? You know, if I just kill it here, Greninja just switches in. And granted, I can't do anything to Greninja. I'm just going to Strength Sap to see it in action. 100%. Beautiful. 90%. Now we're at +2. +4 rather. And yeah, I wanted to see, you know, how it would work, and so now this pretty much guarantees that you're going for a Water Shuriken. Although, I mean, look at our team, what can we really do to that? Not much. So yeah, we'll let you fall, and you are Battle Bond for sure. Now into Murder Hornet, let's just go for this easy U-turn. I'd imagine that does about, yep, 35%, not bad, taking about 1/3 of your health away. That's always really nice against a Ferrothorn. I think we may be able to barely win this here. So Disaster can't do anything, Zoom can't do anything. I believe it lost its Ghost type too. So let's go into our Dewblade here, set up a Sword Stance, and you set up a Leech Seed. Alright, so based just on the pace of this battle, I don't think I'm going to be able to do much unless I'm kind of at +6 to be able to Shadow Sneak the Greninja. Even still, I doubt we'd even get the kill. The problem is I want to keep setting up, but then Leech Seed keeps chipping away at me, and I don't want to take Rocky Helmet plus Iron Barbs damage from this. So yeah, it's really hard to say, but honestly, yeah, I'm going to Sword Stance again. You go Pelipper, that was the right play in that case, since Sacred Sword would have done nothing. Shadow Sneak, I think, is the only thing we can actually do here. Gyro Ball won't do enough, and you're probably not max speed either way. That does just under 50. You get the crit, not the burn, doesn't matter. Leech Seed takes us out anyways, but nevertheless, we are able to switch right back into our poor Gunzi here. And Thunderbolt, nothing on your team takes a Thunderbolt. So I'm just gonna press it, yeah. I don't think it really matters though at this point. My opponent, yeah, look at Greninja and then the rest of my team. Water Shuriken may even take down the Beedrill from here. Although you only hit your 3 hits. I don't know. It may not. That game went by quick. Let's hop into another one right now. And this one doesn't look much easier. We don't have the rain aspect, but it looks like we've got the sand to deal with this time. Either way, I'm gonna actually lead Disaster. So as you lead Corviknight, I'm simply going to go for a Night Slash. Guaranteed critical hits, we do just about 50%, as you do just over that to us. Now, Landorus, you may feel free to go for Stealth Rocks here. You may just U-turn me as well. Either way, I want to conserve our Absol, so I'm going to switch. Yeah, exactly, Absol would have been dead there. Yeah, that ability transfer doesn't matter at this point. That ability would honestly be pretty good if it lasted throughout the game, but I don't know, that's a feature that I think they should honestly implement. It seems like it would be, I'll just make this mono a lot better, although I doubt many people will be using Eviolite Yamask anywhere important. How much does this do? No crunch. We get a Will-O-Wisp on the Tyranitar, and that's honestly a really good trade for me. Stealth Rocks, I'm fine having Stealth Rocks up if it means that your Mega has a burn. Now I'm going to, Pursuit, 17%. We give it the Mummy ability, it has no impact at this point. But wow, 17%. That's amazing. The thing here is that I don't think literally nothing on my opponent's team is affected by Toxic Spikes. The Cinderace It honestly might be Heavy Duty Boots. That is a set I see pretty commonly. So it doesn't really make sense to keep pressing that. I'm just gonna go for a Pain Split. 34, 48, not bad by any means. Unfortunately now it's a bit too weak for us to keep using, but Yamask really put in some work right there. Yeah, it's really hard to switch into anything here. I like every let's be honest, this mon is garbage. This will not do anything for us, so I might as well just let it go out. We get our speed boost, but sand subsides perfectly fine. We could get all of our HP back, which I think I might just do. The burn can whittle you down, and maybe Pursuit. We do have Colbur Berry. Our defense is really low, but yeah, this set, it just kind of caught my eye with the weakness, with the weak armor for the speed, and then Calm Mind, and its special attack is just so high. I thought it potentially could work, although its coverage, granted the coverage I gave it really isn't all that solid. This is definitely my fault on just not making the best mon. As we get a Strength Sap off, so I'm just gonna start setting up some Calm Minds, not because it's the right play, but because I just want to see this mon do something. You could easily Brave Bird me and off me in one shot, so I'm just gonna contend with the little bit of damage I can do. And off goes the Shadow Ball, not even dealing. There's the Brave Bird, we don't even deal 50%. Thankfully the recoil will help us out a bit there, bring it in range of a... Yeah, it will bring it in range of a Night Slash, and then if you switch into Tyranitar, we can easily off that with a Stone Edge. So the Landorus comes in now. Sucker Punch is probably the only thing I can do here. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. We get the crit, thankfully, 51%. I will absolutely take that. As you switch right back into your Tyranitar Mega, which is really, really good for me, because that just means I'll go for a Fell Stinger here either way. The switch to Landorus is really obvious. Yeah, it's painfully obvious, but for content's sake, let's do it. My opponent lets us do it. Perfect. Now I just pray that none of these three common Scarf Mons are actually Scarf. Out comes the Landorus, and this is really where it all comes down to. You can just go for Earthquake. There's nothing I can switch in on that. Again, for content's sake, that'll be my excuse. It is Scarf. Yeah. Honestly, I'm fine with that. We got a Fell Stinger off. Getting the +3 looks cool anyways. Let's get a Will-O-Wisp off. I think the Tapu Fini switch is also pretty obvious here. But Yamask really isn't threatening. It's really not threatening enough to make some people want to switch out. And there is the Tapu Fini switch. Exactly. We do get... That's interesting. I didn't know that the Toxic Spikes actually, went into effect before the terrain went up. So that's a really, really good thing for us. A lot better than if we had burned it there. I'm gonna Pain Split. As you go for a Calm Mind. 24%, 30%. This is honestly a really good situation. We're doing about 6% to it turn over turn, which I'm very happy with. I'm gonna switch out into you, because Yamask is our key for beating the rest of the Mons on my opponent's team here. Dewblade, that may not have been the smartest switch, although the Dewblade does do decent against the Kartana at the very least, but not enough for me to want to conserve it. I'm going to get that chip damage off with the Shadow Sneak, and we are going to head straight into our Porygon Z. Let's set up a Z conversion. This is a bit risky. I'm not going to lie, this is a bit risky since the Landorus, it really depends on if we're going to be able to live a hit from Tapu Fini with enough health to live an Earthquake from that Landorus. Off goes our Z conversion. Scald dealing only 40%, although I don't know if I should say only, that probably is way too much. Although, what is our speed? 306, so we would outspeed the Scarf Landorus, assuming its adamant nature. Because Landorus, yeah, 309. It's really a battle of luck right here, if my opponent's adamant or jolly. So the Cinderace also could use Sucker Punch if it has it. And out comes the Landorus. Now, Shadow Ball absolutely kills it. We know it's Scarf, so I'm just gonna press it again. We outspeed it because it is most likely Adamant Nature. Is that just a forfeit from my opponent? Otherwise, you could bring that Cinderace in and go for a Sucker Punch. And look at that, there is a forfeit. Perfect. Does not look like you had Sucker Punch on that Cinderace. I will absolutely take that. That was a really solid win. We really used every Mon on that team, at least, you know, enough to show what they were capable of. Really, that Yamask put in the work there. I gotta give it to Yamask that game. That was really, really solid. Now, up against this Kanto-ish team, yeah, Pidgeot, probably the Mega Pidgeot for sure. You have nothing else on your team that's a Mega, so I'm going to lead off with my own Mega. As you lead the Magnezone, interesting. I'm gonna drill one. Arcanine, nice switch. Although if we get that high crit chance, we do not. That is absolutely, yeah, Rocky Helmet, that is absolutely a defensive looking Arcanine. And so that means I'm going to switch right into our own defensive Mon. There's no point in going for a Magikarp here. I'm just gonna start setting up our T-Spikes, which will affect the Arcanine, which will affect the Mamoswine, the Greninja, and that's it. So I'm gonna go for another one of those. Yamask. I really don't like Yamask against many of the other Mons. Probably Dragonite is where it would be most useful. At this point, there's really nothing I can switch into on a T-Bolt, so I will let it KO me. I will go into Beedrill and predict your Arcanine, or some flying type to avoid that drill run. I honestly think it's worth going for the U-turn. Even if the Arcanine comes out and we take that Rocky Helmet damage, assuming something like a Dragonite comes out, it's absolutely worth it to break that multi-scale. And out comes the Pidgeot. 40%, not bad at all. I'm going to head straight out into our little sweet machine. As you Mega Evolve, go for a Defog. Oh man, you just let me set up. There's the Z conversion. Ghost type. Let's go for a... I like Ice Beam more. It kills. Yeah, perfect. Their Mega is down. And I'm really liking the position this is putting us in. Out comes the Greninja. You see our Ghost type from conversion. You see our Ice Beam. You may think we can't hit you, but I'm afraid to say we have that Thunderbolt too. Ghost type deals with Arcanine, deals with Magnezone. Ice Beam deals with Dragonite, and Shadow Ball deals with the Mamoswine. Magnezone, 99%. I'll give you credit. Yeah, you lived it. Alright, but will not save you for a second hit. This is why Z conversion really is so solid. I mean, especially with this Ghost type, because now you can Extreme Speed. I doubt you click it. But yeah, that is also kind of a component that some people forget. It doesn't matter either way because we are able to just one-shot. And there is a forfeit. Beautiful. I mean, 2 really good games back to back. Really happy with how this team is doing so far. Of course, not a very competitively focused team. I wouldn't recommend this team to anyone trying to genuinely ladder, but a pretty fun idea, and I'm really happy to see it actually winning some battles for us here. Alright, and here's our 4th opponent, and so I see a really cool looking team here, and I'm just going to lead off with our Porygon Z and hopefully get a sweep from the start. Now, Gyarados here, if it Mega Evolves and Dragon Dances, that could be scary because Crunch, but I think we should be able to live whatever it throws at us here. You go for a Dragon Dance, you do not Mega Evolve yet. Since you see the Ghost type, I think you definitely Mega Evolve now, and so I'm just gonna... You don't even... Alright, maybe that is a Mega. Wow, 2-turn battle. Honestly, was not expecting that, especially with the theme of this team, but there's another win, and so I'll aim for a couple battles more and see what happens. Up against this team now, I really like, look at Mega Beedrill, then look at my opponent's team. It's not even fair. Once we get that Mandibuzz out of the picture, Beedrill just kind of comes in and wins. So Ribombee, that is a perfect way to start. Let's see, we get the poison. Do we get the poison though? You missed the Stun Spore. I was going to say, that is the one thing I would fear. If you let us get this Ribombee here, get that +3 attack. Yeah, unfortunately we don't get that. And I'm just going to switch out on the Mandibuzz here. Bring it down to half health, not bad. And so I'm going to bring in our Absol now. Foul play, if we were justified, that would be really good for us, but we're not. We are Super Luck, which will guarantee us that critical hit on the Stone Edge. Out comes the Virizion. Justified, so I'm not going to press Sucker Punch. I'm just going to go for a Psycho Cut. You miss your Stone Edge, and we hit our Psycho Cut. We get the guaranteed crit. This team not looking so bad right now. This Ribombee could absolutely go for a Sticky Web here, although I think I'd rather go for a Sucker Punch. I'm predicting your Moonblast. Yeah, unfortunately that doesn't come true, and so you could absolutely Stun Spore here, so I'm just going to go for Psycho Cut. Yeah, exactly. There's really not another thing you can do now, I guess, aside from Quiver Dance if you were to have that, but spamming Sucker Punch would win anyways. And we get the crit on that too, I'm sure that mattered. Tapu Lele, I'm going to let this take us out. Perfect, there's the Moonblast. And we're in a really good spot now. Aside from this Sticky Web out, which puts Beedrill in a bad spot, assuming that you are some sort of, well, I don't want to assume that you're a choice item because I do want to keep Beedrill alive for the Clefable. So what I'm going to do here is just go out into our Zoom. And I'm going to go for Z conversion. If you are a choice specs Tapu Lele, which would make sense on the composition of your team since you've got that Sticky Web, that would absolutely take us out. But if we can get a Z conversion, I think we just win the game. Luckily, that's probably not specs since it didn't kill. That could be Scarf though, and then that puts us in a whole nother bad scenario, which it looks like, yeah. Well, that actually wasn't necessarily Scarf since you still outspeed me anyways. Although Dewblade, perfect switch in here. Gyro Ball should be absolutely free. We go for a Psychic, only 37% as our Gyro Ball is 100. Dewblade is absolutely proving to be the best part of our team so far. You can Shell Smash, but your terrain is gone in one turn, so I don't think that was the best. It is not. I see. So you were Terrain Extender Tapu Lele, no choice item at all. And despite the fact it looks like you're levitating, you are still affected by Psychic Terrain, so we will not be able to Shadow Sneak. I'm just going to go out into our Gen 8 Ghost type, take that Stored Power, and Yamask. I'm just going to try to stall out the turns until our Shadow Sneak can come in. And there goes Yamask, and yep, you outspeed Beedrill anyway, so this is useless at this point. Stored Power, and out comes the Dewblade, which maybe we'll be able to beat the Clefable. The fact that there is Sticky Webs on our side will make our Gyro Ball a lot stronger than it would have been without it. And so just because of that, that may just give us a shot here. Moonblast, 20%. Gyro Ball, 94, which will absolutely let Shadow Sneak take it out. Amazing. Dewblade, 2020 vision, very fitting. I think I'm trying to keep this video a bit shorter since, you know, I suppose it's a bit of a more controversial topic. And so Dewblade has really been the MVP of this team so far. If any of you want to use this team, I will link it right down below in the description. And so with that, I'm going to end the video off here. We only have a few more weeks of 2020 to endure. Stay strong, everyone. I will keep making as many videos as I can to hopefully keep you all entertained. And with that, I'm going to end the video off here. I will see you guys around next time.